And we're the Corbin Clan!
For our church radio station, my husband asked me to begin recording little brief segments about homeschooling, to be able to encourage homeschool families and tell those who are not currently homeschooling about it, so that they can kind of see how easy it is, or, well, it's not really easy, but it's not that difficult either. There's a lot of resources out there, and there's a lot of encouragement from people. So he asked me to begin doing that, and I have gladly begun doing that, and I'm going to be uploading all those videos on my channel right here. And but I wanted to kind of elaborate on some of them, because as I make those programs for him, they're only about 1.5 minutes long. And I try to say as succinctly as possible certain things about homeschooling, but sometimes I want to elaborate, because there's stories that I think go well with what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't tell it all in 1.5 minutes. So that's what this program is about. One of the programs that I made, the Homeschool Minutes, is about one of the great things about homeschooling is being set your own schedule, your time, that you get to choose what time of day you homeschool and what days of the year you homeschool, so you can make it work for what works for your family. And I want to tell a little story behind that, because it's one of those things that I've always embraced that in a lot of ways, and yet there was one thing I was holding out on. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that. First of all, I've homeschooled my kids since the beginning, when they were born. Except there was a couple of years they went to our church school. Other than that, they've always been homeschooled. And I've always loved that you set your own schedule as far as days of the week that you do homeschool. We always, in the beginning, we would start out our homeschool year in July. And that way, because honestly, in the summer it's so hot, I didn't want to be outside with them much anyway. So being inside to do school, that was a pleasant idea for me. And then we also enjoy doing a lot of things in the fall with our family, like going up to the mountains when the leaves change and things like that. So we would kind of do like a year-round school. We started in July and finished in May, and so we just had a little time off in June that we didn't do school. But other than that, it was school year-round, and it allowed us to take chunks of time here and there to do fun family things. And so that was one of those things I loved. I loved, especially when I talk about being able to do things in the fall. I'm not a crowds person at all. I don't like being in crowded areas, and so being able to go on vacation when everybody else was at school and work, I love that. I really do love that. In fact, a few times that we have gone off in the summer to vacation places, I've honestly been like, I kind of freeze up, and I'm just like, I don't want to be here. Let's just leave. Let's just go. I can't do this. I don't do crowds at all. And so I love that part of it. I love scheduling when we do school as far as that. But on the other hand, you also not only get to choose what days you do school, but you also get to choose what time of day you do school. And that's one of those things that I really didn't think much about initially. And so the first part of my kids' lives, we did the traditional way. We got up in the morning, we did school, and if we finished by lunch, that was great. We didn't usually finish by lunch. Usually it went after lunch. But we'd get up in the morning, we'd work till school was finished. And of course, I remember there were times when the kids were refusing to do work, and I would say, okay, even if you sit here till midnight, we're going to get this work done. And they never had to do that. But it was always one of those things when they didn't want to cooperate. It was like, we're doing this work, whether, no matter how long we have to sit here, you're going to get it done. But in recent years of my life, we pastor a church. My husband and I, we pastor a church, and one of the things that has been a struggle for us is the late nights that we have so often, because we have services on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, as well as sometimes we have prayer meetings on Friday nights. So when we do that, that's 3 nights of the week that we don't get home till very late. Usually it's after 9 or so. And then we also have a Bible class that we do one night a week, and that ends at 8:30. So thankfully we do get home a little bit faster that night, but still it's still close to 9 by the time we get home. And so when we get home late, it also means the kids go to bed late. It means that they always want a snack. They got to get cleaned up, get ready for bed, and then just a settling down process. And so for a while, I was going through this thing of, coming in with them, and it's like, okay, kids, got to get to bed. And I was fussing, let's go, we got to get to bed, we got school in the morning, come on, got to go. Y'all can't sleep late in the morning, you can't do this, we got to get up early, go to bed. And so bedtime became this kind of thing of just go, trying to get them to bed so that they could get to sleep, so they could get up early. Well, as hard as we tried, they weren't getting to bed that early anyway. And then morning would come, and so what I'd do, I'd get up, and of course I would, take a little time for me to read my Bible, pray, and things like that. But then as soon as I finished, it was like, okay, kids, get up. And I'm going through this crazy process of trying to get them going, trying to, hurry. We got to do school. We got to get to school. And honestly, I was spending so long in my mornings just fussing, come on, let's go. We got to go. We got to do school. Let's get going. Wake up. And then, that would be my morning. And no one enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it. Scott didn't enjoy hearing me do this. The kids certainly didn't enjoy hearing it. It wasn't pleasant. And then we get to finally starting school. And then we just have a little chunk of time, and it's lunchtime. And I would be so frustrated because I was like, okay, now, we've only gotten a little bit done, and we're going to spend half the afternoon or more trying to finish it. So we stop and have lunch, and then we go back to finishing our school. And it just seemed like my whole day was just either fussing or trying to get the work done. And so I was praying about it, and I was frustrated, and I was like, Lord, what am I supposed to do? How do I get these kids to bed earlier? How do I get them up earlier? And it's, there was that part of me that was kind of like, are the kids doing something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? And then I was like, here's the fact. I can't change the fact that we pastor a church, we're the last people to leave every night. We get home late. I can't change that. I'm not wanting to change that either. I can't change that Scott and I, we have certain obligations that keep us up personally late at night. I can't change those things in my life. And then one day I was it hit me. It was like, there's no rule what time of day I have to do school. So then I was like, why am I stressing so much about getting them up in the mornings and doing school? We have late nights. Therefore, they sleep late. And that's just the way it is in our home. So after that, I went to the kids. I said, guess what, kids? From now on, we don't start school till after lunchtime. Sleep till you want to. And when you get up, if you want to go ride your bike, go ride your bike. If you want to go play, go play. If you want, the morning time is your free time. It's your, what would normally be afternoons for people. I said, whatever you want to do in the morning, we'll start after lunch. And some of them were kind of like, well, that's kind of a clever idea. And the others were like, what? But nonetheless, that's what we started doing. And you know what? It's been so much more peaceful. I don't stress over what time they get to bed, not because I don't think they should get to bed at a certain time. I do. And I mean, if they push it, sometimes they do push it. And I have to say, guys, you shouldn't be up at this time at night. Go to bed. And so we do that. But the fact is, I know we get home late sometimes, and it's like, I understand they can't get to bed as early as a lot of kids. And I don't push that. I don't fuss in the morning if they sleep till 10 or, they do sometimes. And I'm like, you know what, they're worn out. Let them sleep. And when they get up, they do what they want to do. I spend my mornings the way I want to do. I usually get up and get things ready for school. I might do some housework. I might do some of my church work, my office work. Sometimes I even go to the church and work. I take care of that. My mornings, I do my business. And then come lunchtime, we have lunch and we start school. And you know what? It's worked wonderfully. It's worked wonderfully. And so I want to encourage other homeschool parents. You may think, well, I don't know how, I don't know how to get things done at a certain time. You're not bound by a time schedule. You set your time schedule. Let me say this to parents who don't homeschool and say, well, I can't because I work. I've heard it before. I can't because I'm not available during school hours. Well, you know what? There's other homeschool families, and I've heard of them before, who they do their homeschool in the evening when the parents are home. They do their homeschool when it works for their family schedule. That's one of the great things. You choose your schedule. You choose what time you want to do things. And once that light bulb went off for me, that I didn't have to push so hard to do mornings, it was like such a burden lifted off of our family. And now I love it. I absolutely love it. My family is glad that I'm no longer fussing about going to bed on time and getting up on time. But instead, we do what works for us. Now, there's days that I know I'll have something in the afternoon to do, and I'll say, hey, guys, I'm going to need y'all to get up earlier. We need to start before lunchtime because I've got an appointment tomorrow afternoon, or I've got this I need to do tomorrow afternoon. I need you to get on up. And so we flex around. It's like, okay, we're just going to have to do it at a different time of day tomorrow. But generally, we know we're going to do afternoons. And again, my mornings, I'm still working. I'm doing all my other duties while I wait to get ready for school time. So parents, don't feel the stress of what time of day you're going to do school. Do it when it works for your family. And that's one of the beautiful things about everything with homeschool. You do what works for your family. And it's awesome. So happy homeschooling, and I'll be back again with some more information later.